So it's a unique thing we came up with years ago. We were staying under a bridge. A bunch of 78 people lived under a bridge, and it was called Hutsville before the Georgia Dome was built. Emphasis on Falcons. But before the dome was built, there was this whole community under the viaducts, which is now the tailgate community called the Gulch. And these 70 plus people, we were their pastors. And so on one Thanksgiving weekend, I was sitting out there with them around a 50-gallon drum where they had stuff that they had gathered from all over the city, keeping a fire going to stay warm. And people, and there's a lot of smart people that just happen to be down on their luck or have made wrong choices, ended up on the streets. And
it don't matter, they're in need.
Oh, yeah. And the mayor, exactly. But the mayor of Hutsville, he had tapped into a power pole and hot-wired electricity. He had a TV and a microwave in his hut, which was a 3-room hut. Had a tub where he tapped into the fire hydrant. It would fill his tub up and take a bath. And they were our friends. He ended up dying of AIDS 2 years after this Thanksgiving, where I was sitting there with him just talking, hanging out, Saturday after Thanksgiving. And people would drive by and stop, and because Hutsville had gotten some publicity, and the common folks around Atlanta who don't do this every day like we do, heard that there was this community, and so they would bring all their leftover Thanksgiving food to them. And Dale and the other people there, we had taught them how to be grateful, even when you weren't necessarily getting what you wanted.
Right.
And some of them, that was just their nature. Their mama had taught them well, or whatever. And that, they would thank the people while I was sitting there with them for dropping off the food. They would bring it over, had a big table out there that they had made out of scraps, or I think old wooden doors from houses or something. They had 2 or 3 of those together on barrels. And just real creative community type. This was like their living room. Everybody hung around. There was a big fire. We all sat on buckets, mostly paint buckets. A couple of them had chairs, but I would always just pull up a bucket. And they would take the food, bring it over, and they would make little comments and jokes among themselves without being critical of the donors, which to me was, it showed a lot about who they were. They were grumbling, complaining, but I could tell they were tired of leftovers. Turkey and dressing, you can only have so much without it becoming I mean, no matter how much I like certain type of foods, pies, cakes, whatever, there's only such a, and burnout sets in. So I could tell that they were tired of it, and I said, hey guys, I said, what sounds good to you? What would you like to do? What would you like to have? And Dale said, Pastor Phil, somebody was bragging on you that you cook some mean chili. I said, I'll be back in 2 hours. And so I went to the store, got some chili, went to my home, made a couple big pots, went over there. About 30, 40 of them were there that day. Some had gone for the weekend, some had gone to be with their family for the holiday, which, is an interesting dynamic. When you're homeless and poor, to go and be with the family for the holidays when they're not welcome the rest of the year. And sometimes, rightly so. But there were about 30 of them or so, and I cooked these 2 pots of chili, brought it down, and we just had the best time joking, laughing, eating chili.
That brings up a point that even if somebody reached out, even if it was their passion just to have community, you don't do anything else but community.
That's it.
If that was something, but you do far more than community.
Right.
I mean, you're reaching children. You're reaching children at risk. You're touching homeless, and even just people that's down and out. They don't have to be homeless. They can come by here and they can get community.
Right.
And that's a fundamental thing. Is when people get together with that community, there's something about it that just like me and you here today, or even with our friends here, it brings a spark into our life.
It does.
Just being able to talk to somebody and hear you and carry on a conversation just brings some life. But then beyond that, then you give some substance.
Exactly.
And then you give them some hope. I mean, you've even gone as far as the thousands that come through here, upon thousands upon thousands. We saw a map, and maybe down the road we're going to put some of that footage on this video. But Philip has a map that shows where he has found relatives and able to get homeless people or children that's been at risk, and they've moved here from all over the United States for some reason, looking for some hope, but then they need to get reconnected. And you've reconnected how many hundreds?
Just this past year, about 300.
This past year, 350 people that's come through here has been reconnected, and he's got them back into their homes across the United States. And maybe soon you'll be able to even elaborate on that some more on that with that map.
And it's amazing how Atlanta's a magnet for people. Corporations, a big one just announced last week. They're moving here. 120-year-old corporation from Ohio is moving here. A lot of sad Buckeyes, but a lot of proud jackets and dogs. But thousands of jobs are coming with that. Now people hear that in the trenches all around the nation, people in the margins, as we say, and they come to Atlanta and think that it's the great mecca for jobs and everything, and it's a great city. But they end up stranded here. No support system, no family, no resources, and so we become that support system, and we try to help them see the importance of community, whether it's their blood, whether it's
no matter what background,
friends, the church they grew up in, or a new church, or whatever. No church. Exactly. It might be virtual community that they're part of. It's their world, and so